Yeah. Welcome back, everybody. Hope you're doing okay. Can't get used to having headphones. So I hope you're having a fantastic day. Just let me pop my chat out here. Can you all hear me? Just let me know. Just want to make sure. And we'll get started right away. We're going to be doing some nature journaling. This was what we did last Thursday, and it's acrylic on scrapbook paper. So if you want to check that out, I will leave a link down below or in the corner here with a little thing. But sometimes it takes a while for me to be able to do that because they have to render stuff before they'll let me put cards in. See, I think it's this way. This was what we did last Tuesday, and it was a little ladybug, and there was a traceable for that, I believe. I think. I might be wrong. I'm not sure. But today we're going to be doing, actually, I have a Coleus here. We're going to be, I'm going to take one of the stems off and we'll be drawing this. So we have a double stem here. And these grow really quickly. And if you want to have more plants, they're very easy to propagate by stem cuttings. Put that up over here for now. So Coleus. This is a different type of Coleus. This is actually a trailing Coleus, which you don't see too often. But I love the colors of it. It's beautiful greens and burgundy and magenta, yellow. It's awesome. I don't think my color is right. Let me brighten this up a little bit. Is that better? They're very bright. Just a minute. Could be my white balance is off. Let's try that. I see it in my camera, but it's not showing that bright on the exposure. Oh well, that's what we're doing. Hey, Lena. Just wanted to say hello because I have to go and make dinner now. Okay. Hey, Joan. So I'm going to bring you in a little bit. So this is what we're going to be doing. I'll put a piece of paper on this side just so that you can view it. If you want to draw it too, you can. Now what I see and what you see are going to be two different things because I'm viewing it skewed on a bit of an angle. But so I hope your weather is good where you are in the world. Very hot here this week. Very unseasonally hot. Like 33 Celsius is crazy for this time of year. And plants are kind of showing stress because of it. Hey, Dot. It's rather cool there. Just back from the garden centers. Oh, yeah, I know, Dot. It's pretty hard not to spend money when you go to a garden center. I feel your pain. I'm so lucky I'm kind of in the boonies where I live here. There's not a lot of big garden centers around because, oh, it's so tempting. But it's fun. It's either art supplies or plants for me, one or the other. I've been actually doing a bunch of mulching because I think it's going to be a dry year again. So that'll help with the water and keeping things a little bit moister. And I don't think I have enough. Yeah, well, Dot, we never have enough. There's always room for more, right? That's like art supplies. they're, it, it's so similar to art supplies. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, what do you think I should do? Do you want me to do drawing of it first, or would you like to see me do just painting and then ink later? As I know some people don't like seeing the drawing through the paint. Doesn't much matter to me, but just wondering. I've got some peonies they're tree peonies, just about ready to come out. That doesn't surprise me, Dorothy. We are the same when we go around to garden centers. I'm happy either way. Yep. It's just, yep. If it makes you happy, why not? So I'm going to put a stem through here. That's just to show where I want the shape of the stem to be. And I'll erase probably. So what I'm looking at is there anything overlapping or that's up in the foreground? I want to do that first, and then I can draw behind things. So really the bud kind of curls up a little bit, and you see the little center section where it's growing, the growth point, and really kind of serrated edges, like very pronounced edges. So let's do those. And I look at the shapes when I'm drawing. And the nice thing about doing plants is that they're all different. As long as you get the essence of that plant, then it's good. That's the way I look at it. So don't stress over it. It's supposed to be fun. So I'm just kind of outlining actually how it's shaped. Now this one here, the way I'm seeing it, it's got a real curve going back. So you're probably viewing it a little bit differently. So my edges will be a little bit smoother because of the way I'm seeing it in perspective. And then there's one here I'm seeing. This is a little bit of a larger one. And then there's this one. Actually, I should have drawn that one first because it kind of sits in front. And then this one here kind of goes over the branch. So this is very unstressful. Like, don't stress over doing these. I don't take mind of having it exact because they're all different, right? There's a little buds of, looks like there's going to be branching right there that I can see. So I'm just going to put kind of wobbly little, they're just baby ones coming up there, but you can't really recognize them too much right now because of the size. But they are there. So they're kind of bunched together. So we'll do that. And then right from here, I can see a stem. Is that from a Coleus plant? Yes, it's a Coleus. It's a trailing Coleus. So you don't normally see those too much. They've been out for a few years, but I really like them. I usually get some. They're very easy to grow. They will take sun. These ones will take sun. You don't have to keep them in the shade. I forgot to do this one. So I'll have to come back. Some Coleus need shade. Oh, they'll burn, but these ones, the newer ones, you'll find will take some sun. But the giant ones, like what do they call it, King Kong or something, they do need. You haven't seen them? Oh, okay. Well, they're really cool. They get fairly thick and bushy. They don't get like feet long or anything, but they do get a nice size. So they trail if you want them to trail on the ground, depending on how you're using them. Or they'll go over a pot, like if you have them in a hanging pot, say. They look really nice. I like them. There's a few out there on the market. There's not a lot of them, but there are a few. I think there's a more of a green form that you can get too. Okay, there's in this little guy. I like the shape of the stem. And then it's a little bit smaller. That. And then there's some more in here. This a little bit of branching again. They get very thick. These don't get as many flower buds, which is nice because the flowers aren't that great. And if you pinch them before they flower, your plant will get more thicker and branchier. That's what I like. I love Coleus. So many beautiful colors out there. Okay. And then my branch can go up there. Fairly thick branches. Like that. And then I just take an eraser. Where did I put that? And just erase wherever those lines where I don't need them. Now you can make it a little less strong a line if you want. If you find you don't want to see the pencil marks, and just take your kneaded eraser and just kind of lightly push it into your page and swirl it around, and it just takes up some of that. Not all of it. Just be careful not to erase all of it. Or you could use a harder pencil so it leaves a lighter line. That should do. So I'm going to probably put some line work in here anyways. Maybe use my dip pen again. Give it another whirl. I want to get used to using that. I know you can't see it as much right now. How is it for you guys? Bring it back a little. There. You won't see the color. This isn't showing the color. See how bright it is? It's like fuchsia color. Okay. So I'm going to make it fairly loose. I have my silver black velvet number 8 and a number 6. You can use smaller if you want. And probably gonna just make it wet into wet. So again, this is sketchbook paper. It's not watercolor paper. And this is just for fun for me, just to be creative. I'm going to use like permanent sap green by Winsor and Newton is a perfect color. So I'm looking at the lightest colors first. I have a fair amount of water on there. So it's going to go wherever that water is. Where did I put that? Let's see, did I put any there? So it's going to be loose. So while it's wet, I'm going to go into magenta, I think. So Quin Magenta by Winsor & Newton. Just go in the center. Perfect color. And I don't want to mix it too much, because when you mix these two together, we'll get brown, and we don't want that. So don't be putting too much mixing in there. So we want these as bright as possible. Okay, let's do this one. Like I said, doesn't matter to me if I go over the line. So this is a very loose rendition. I like that look. You can make yours. Let's try red to start off. Or not red, magenta. In the center there. And then some permanent green around the edges. And let's just let it flow on its own. There is a bit of yellow in these too, but we'll see what happens with these. They're fun to do. I kind of like that. Let's try this one again with the red or magenta in the center, and then the green just on the edge, and then we let it seep in, but don't use your brush to mix it because it'll turn muddy. Another one. We'll put this one in too while we're at it. Magenta. Sap green. Quite pretty. Did any of you guys go to the flower show? Chelsea flower show? That must be something to see. I always watch the videos. I think it's so interesting seeing the different designers' renditions of what a garden should be. Some of them are pretty far out there. Some of them are gorgeous. And I can't believe how some of them are like so extravagant, and they just take, was it 3 weeks or something? They got to, or 2 weeks, something like that, for them to make this plot. No, too far to travel to see the flower show. Oh, that's too bad. I didn't, Kathy, but I saw it on TV. You saw it on TV on, was it Gardening World? Monty. Be an awesome thing to see, I think. We have little flower shows, nothing like you guys have, though. Crowds are too much. Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah, you kind of have to think about that, eh? Nowadays, because so many people still getting sick. So you have to be careful. Don't want to catch something. These are cool. I like them. Let's do this one. Now, when we're getting into the top ones, they're really close together. So we're probably going to get some bleeding, which is okay. But I might, let's try just doing a little bit of wet into dry instead, because we're still going to be using some inks. So are your gardens in the UK, are they behind because of the cold weather, or are you caught up now? We're behind here. I used to I used to live in London, so it was easy to get there. So I used to go to cute. Oh wow, so nice, Dot. That would be fantastic. Go see that. I just think they're so beautiful, the gardens. All right. That's an opening. All right, so now I'm going to get it. There is a bit of yellow in these, and I'm going to just tap out a little bit. It's getting a little bit muddy looking because they're almost burgundy in some areas. So we can do that. Put some burgundy colors in. Maybe even some veining. We'll see. Hey, Devin. And then the stem is about, well, I would say it's a little bit lighter. It's a little more bright green. So I'm going to put a little bit of that. What is it? Leaf Green by Da Vinci. In there. It's just a little bit different. Not a huge amount, but a bit. Okay, I'm happy with that. Now, I'm going to dry that. So you want it good and dry. Okay. Now it's good and dry, and it won't start moving on me. I'm going to take some of this yellow here. This hen's a yellow. So there is a bit of yellow in little bits here and there. Just going to pop him in just a bit. Just take some clean water and spread it over a little bit. The yellow will brighten up things too. If you find that they're kind of dull looking, you put a little yellow over top of pinks, and it really makes a pretty color. There's actually quite a bit of yellow in just the top here. Put some of that in. See that one? I think I missed some. Well, let's put some yellow in there then. And then more green. A little bit. Of magenta, just a bit. Soak it up a little. Okay. Looks good. All right. Now, if you see the markings, see how they're kind of lacy looking? So let's do some of those. So it's kind of a burgundy. So let's do, I'm going to do Cad Red. It's a really lovely red. And I'm going to mix a bit of blue with it. So this is indigo I'm using. Yeah, that's a good color. Very dark. It's a little bit on the burgundy side, so that's what I want. And then just kind of around the magenta, it kind of goes in little loops. It's very pretty. There's no real specific pattern it's got, but I see the little loops. So just use a little nice pointed brush would do. And it's fairly, goes into that a little bit. It's more dense colored in the center. Very pretty. You could use a colored pencil if you don't want to do it with the brush. This one's a little bit wet, so let's try this. No, that one's wet too. A little bit of looping. Lacy effect, I guess you could call it. So leave some open areas. Then you just color in some of it. Quite pretty. Some of it kind of looks like veining. So like I said, there's no wrong way of doing these. Just make some squiggly marks. Leave some of the pink in the center. And you pretty well have it. Some dots here and there. Some of them have, let's dry that so I can get a more defined edge. I used to draw, oh, I saw that. You went to Holland too? Well, that would have been fantastic. Hey, Danielle. This one here. Kind of see more of loops. Then a little bit. More in there. No wrong way of doing them, guys. I hope you'll give them a try. They're fun. If you have some Coleus in your pots or in the garden, just grab a few leaves and see what you can do with them. It's always fun to challenge yourself. That's what I like doing. Just grab a flower or a leaf and start out small. You don't have to do a whole bouquet. Just experiment with your supplies and try things. This one's got more veiny because they're small. They haven't quite gotten their full colors yet. The little wee leaves. That. Put a little bit more in there. It's gotten a little bit lighter, so let's put a little bit of the darker in here again. And these ones have more pink, the top ones. More pink showing. And a few in there. Now we could go in with some gouache, I think, and just put in some of these bright green edges. They're kind of disappearing a little bit. But I like it. All right, have a good day, Evan. I'm going to do a little bit of some gold green just on the underneath here. Give it a little bit of shadow. In there. And right in here. Okay, so let's see, I wonder if this is, let's wet it and see. I don't know if this is, yep, okay. So let's use this. I have some gouache, it's dried up. Let's put some of this bright leaf green in it. And the reason why I'm doing that is so it will go over top of what's there. Because I want that bright green. Let's put a little bit of permanent green in there too. That's good. Okay. So now I can, is it wet? Just emphasize some of the edges of those. They are quite bright. So I'm just going to put a few in, just along the very edge. Some of this might have gone over too far, so it covers it up. It looks like just one big blob. So when you do this, it helps show what's what. You can make shapes more too. If you want to shape them a little bit, you can do that. Like so. And this one here. You can even put more center sections in too if you think that the burgundy is too thick. You can always correct it by doing a bit of gouache. So we have, this one's could have a little bit more. Little dots here and there. That helps it. Especially along the edge where there's more. But you do need to put your white with it. And yeah, I like that. It helps it. Especially if you've kind of got carried away with some of this, which I tend to do. That's a good way of fixing it. These have just a few little dots, not many. Let's put a few in there. We need some more green around this here. There's a few in here. A little bit more water. And a little more green. This one kind of got a little bit too much on the top there, so just use the green. Clean it up a bit. Put some of the dots in. Could even do this with some yellow too if you wanted to. If you needed some yellow in there, might do that. You can always go back with the dark too. So the dark is the easiest to do over top. You don't need the gouache, but let's see. You know what? That one should be the underneath. So let's cover that. That's the underneath. And the underneath of this one, you don't necessarily see the color that much. So by just throwing this color over top, we'll shade it out. It'll still come through, but not as bright. This one, nice bright. I need a little bit more green in there, I think. A little darker. This one's got a lot more of those little openings. That. And this top part needs a bit of brightening up. So see. It's the brightest one. I'm just basically dotting at this point. They're small. But you do want to show the outline of that bright green so you can recognize it as a separate leaf. And there's a little one in there. That. Like that. And then this guy here behind it. Oh, there's this one too. Like that. I'm kind of seeing it on an angle with that one though. So a little bit more green in here. This one needs some. And some little polka dots. The edges. Same with this one here. A little bit of brightening up. And some polka dots. Where it would be lacy looking. And this one needs a few too. Don't see as many on there. I see a few on the little ones. Not a lot, but you do see a few. Put a few in. Thanks, Joan. Oh, you used to grow these in your greenhouse? Awesome. I would love a greenhouse. It's not a big thing over here in Canada. I don't know why, but maybe because of the cost of heating it. A little bit of yellow I'm popping in here. There's just a tad. You see, like that. This one here needs some fixing. Maybe we'll just give it a little light. And some real light marks on the back here. Oh, too much water on my brush. So would it be a little bit of the veining you'll see on the back here. Not a lot, but you will see some of it. Like that. Okay, let's give that a dry. All right. Now I think I'm just going to use a pen this time. It's a 5. What's this one? That's a 3. I like 3s. I don't know why. It's a nice in between color or thickness. And I'm just going to do a little bit, not a lot, of kind of defining areas. So like these here needed a little bit of definition just to show where the leaf is. And I'm not worried about going on the paint line either. Just show a little bit of where everything is basically. Because there's a lot going on in this center part here. This one here. Then there's this little guy here. And it just helps with what is what. I find that's the biggest problem I have when I'm doing stuff is I lose track of petals. If you want to do like peonies and roses and stuff, don't try to do it exact. It'll drive you crazy and you won't enjoy it basically, because it can be very frustrating when you lose track of where you are. So just have fun with it. See, I'm not even worried about whether that's the right. Basically where the shadows would be in some of them. You don't have to do them all. But they're fun. Let's do these guys here. That. This one here, maybe underneath. See, I'm not even going in the lines, so to speak. Just don't have to. Maybe some shadow underneath. That. I think that's it. This center I want a little brighter though, just to show the very, very center. So I'm going to mix a little bit of white with that. Or yellow, I guess. Just to brighten that up. I'm more on the yellowy side. So this one's got a little bit more yellow too. And right in here, It's kind of the brand new ones that are just emerging. They're a little bit on the lighter side. Like that. How big are the leaves? That's as big as they get, but they trail. I'm going to change my lighting and show you how bright they are there. That's how bright they are. They're pretty. All right. I'll bring that. Oop. It's hard to get the right color combination or brightness with these. So they will. This is a small plant, a beginner plant. See? That's how it grows. So it'll get a much, much bigger and fall over. I don't have the plant stake in here, but they're very strong. And the more you pinch them, the more they'll branch. All right. So today is 5:30, 23. Wow, this time is going by quick. It's crazy. So I hope you'll give this a try or just get out in your garden, pick a leaf, see what you can do with it. Draw it or paint it. Just enjoy the process of doing. All right, I'll let you guys go and we'll see you on Thursday. And we'll probably be doing a mixed media page, I think. I haven't done one of those in a while. So I'll let you guys go and you have a fantastic creative day. Thanks, Joan. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Tori. Bye for now.